I'm just writing some info up here about what I'm using. I got quite a few questions last time about what I was actually working with. So bear with me for just a moment. How you going, Cabane there? How are you? Alright, so for anyone interested, I'm working on the Samsung Galaxy Note, and the program is Autodesk Sketchbook Pro. Hello everyone, thanks for joining in. What I thought I'd do is, I did a video a couple days ago where I did some rough sort of character design kind of stuff to get started, and people seem to like that, so I thought I might take a bit more of a shorter but more in-depth kind of look at my process for that. And what I thought might be interesting is if I took some suggestions at the start for some character types, and then I'll pick one and design up an original character based on that. So if you're watching and you would like, if you have a particular kind of character in mind, whether it's a cowboy, a robot, a monster, whatever it might be, send in just type in a suggestion. I'll take a look at some of the suggestions. I'll pick with one. Okay, so we've got one, a dude with a mask, a robot. I'm gonna go for an original character, so I won't do Captain America. An Amish apocalyptic wanderer, detailed eyes, Harry Potter, Betty Boop, cowboy, alien. Okay, I'll keep it open for just a little bit longer. Send in some suggestions. I've taken note of a few of those already. Alien soldier, steampunk. I might actually blend a couple of these together. So I quite like steampunk. And I like cowboys, so I'm going to go for a steampunk cowboy. Actually, no, I apologize. I'm going to go for a alien cowboy. I think that'll be it'll lend itself to a little bit more with a mask. Okay, we're going to do. All right, let me write this down. So we're going to go for. He's going to be, get that thing out of there, it's going to be an alien cowboy with mask. That's an important detail to someone here, so there we go. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Like I said, that is the tablet that I'm working on. It's just the standard stylus that comes with the tablet. I'm working with Autodesk Sketchbook Pro, which is what I use. So I take this traveling and just do some. The stylus is just the standard Samsung one, and I'm going to do an original design for an alien cowboy with a mask. So I'm going to keep this to 20 minutes, starting from now. This is a bit of a warm up for me before I get into some other work that I have to do. So here we go. Hello from Brazil. Hello from Australia. Okay, so one of the first things I want to do is I'm going to miss a lot of these questions, by the way, because I'm sort of focusing on this here. So I'll address the ones that I catch. So one of the first things that I do is start with some silhouettes. So where's his hat? Now, the purpose of starting with quick and rough silhouettes is just to, if you might have seen the last Periscope stream that I did, and I just try to pick some unusual kind of shapes and silhouettes. So I don't start every character design like this, but when you're working on alien sort of stuff or fantasy, it's a good idea to just get a whole bunch of little thumbnail sort of designs down, I find, because it sort of can open up some possibilities that you might not have thought about. So while I'm actually doing this sort of stuff, I'm not necessarily thinking about actual specifics. I'm just really kind of marking the page, and not every designer works like this, I'm sure, but it's kind of just a way to start seeing some ideas that I wouldn't otherwise think of. So it is very random, and it basically just, you come up with a lot of unexpected kind of stuff, which I think is really cool. Sometimes I will have some specific ideas that I want to put down, like I thought I want to do one with massive arms, so that's this one in particular. But then, the rest of it's kind of, I don't know, very random. So I'm just going to do another row of these, and then from this lot, I'm going to take a look at the silhouettes, have a look at some ideas, find out, see what I like, what I don't like. I don't do industrial design sketching particularly. Like, I do some industrial design just for my own projects, but not. I don't do industrial design stuff professionally. Okay, let's try and find some real variation in the shapes here. Like I said, now this is not the way to design characters, by the way. I don't do 3D design. No, I pretty much just do like comic book kind of stuff. The best tablet for drawing, I've only worked on this one pretty much, which I got a couple years ago. But I've been hearing good things about the iPad Pro or whatever it's called, which seems to be quite good. So okay, one last one. Try and make this kind of radical. This one. This, in terms of doing a warm up like this, it really does help just like loosen yourself up and just sort of shake the dust out. No, I prefer pen and paper, but for the sake of this, it works better doing it digitally. All right, so now what I do is I'm just sort of looking at some of these. If this was like this is not going to be a character for anything in particular, and I'm not going to do a finished design. This is just a rough design warm up. And to give you guys a bit of, that's all the details for what I'm working on up here. So normally I'd do more of these, I'd create some more variation, and then I would break things down as I continued on. But so we're just gonna keep it short. So in this case, I'm going to shortcut the process a little bit. I'm just taking a look at the 12 or 11 or 12 that I have here. And then I'm going to go from there. Okay, so I'm liking this shape here. I should actually change the color of my pen here. I'm just going to highlight a few details. So I like this for the head. I kind of like these, whatever they are, shoulders. So that's the other thing. I don't even really know what these various shapes are, particularly at the moment. I'm just kind of taking a look at a couple things. Now I like big arms, so we'll take a look at those big arms, and let's see. I don't know. I kind of like this thing on the back here. Just sort of get a bit of a good feel from that, and a bit of this here. So he will have a cowboy hat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the opacity of this layer so I can still see things there, but I can draw over it. And I'm going to start to refine this design just a little bit, using the different things that I've picked there. Now this, like I said, this is not always how I work, but when I'm trying to come up with like a really unusual sort of design, it is actually a good way to go. So now I'm just going to sort of sketch at a larger size, taking some of these shapes, and again still just kind of finding the different shapes that I like. So I've just drawn these in here, which I'm sort of taking from this section, the head shape roughly from there. I did say that I like those big arms, so you know, maybe we've got some big arm kind of things going on, and really just again just scratching about the page, just finding some interesting things. So we've got these here. I don't know, I do like those. Maybe they're like, I don't know, something like that. He's got to have a cowboy hat. He's a cowboy. Okay. Queen Charm doll, how you going? Okay, some legs. I always find leg designs to be one of the most difficult aspects. I have a couple of avenues that I always seem to end up wandering down in terms of designing legs, and I don't necessarily like those designs, so I don't know. Maybe he's got a tail. I don't like those legs actually. Maybe they're more like tentacly, or actually I did see there's this shape here which kind of looks almost spring-like. So starting to take shape a little bit. Using this method, I usually come up with far more interesting designs than what I otherwise would. All right, so I'm gonna use that kind of. Now this is, like I said, you know, it's just a 20-minute rough kind of design. So normally I'd I'd take a bit more time with this, but all right. So we got that general sort of idea. I am self-taught, yeah. So now what I'm doing is I'm not sort of re-going over this. I'm actually just keeping that in mind while I sort of figure out what I really want to kind of get from this. Keeping in mind that he's an alien cowboy. Don't worry, I will put a hat on him there. Alright, so I said I kind of liked that coil. Ooh, there's an idea. He doesn't have legs at all. He's kind of half alien rattlesnake. Rattlesnakes are out in the desert. They're always in cowboy movies. And those big arms. What do his arms look like? I don't know. It's going to have some kind of things like this. Doing this sort of thing really helps to find unusual shapes, which I think I've said like a million times already. Oh yeah, he's going to have guns, don't you worry. That's all I'm just sort of getting the figure design at the moment. So we've got that. So now I'm going to get rid of this layer. I'm going to get rid of that entirely, delete that. Get rid of this one entirely, delete that. Drop the opacity of this one. New layer. Okay. So he's starting to take shape a bit. I think I'm going to go with normal guns. Well, I mean, they won't be very detailed design anyway, so they're just going to be guns in general. So we kind of got a little bit of like a alien face and some weird sort of arms with these big things coming off the back, and a bit of like a snake tail kind of. So he's like sort of half rattlesnake kind of thing, but he is an alien. So, alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of refine rather the face a little bit. So I might just do away with that layer for the moment, get that out of there, and keeping in mind the sort of design that I had just before. So he's got, I don't know, like his face is kind of like a mask. I don't know if he's wearing a mask per se, but it's something like that. I kind of liked those ear things off the back. Maybe they're like sort of twisted sort of things with a bit of gunk detail in there or something. Alright, so kind of like that. And then he'd have his, let's see, he'd have his hat. He'd have his cowboy hat. Let's put that on there. I won't go with like a big cartoon one. Let's try and make it fairly normal. One of the interesting, a way to kind of keep designs interesting is, to sort of mix up Niagara Falls, New York. Wow, hello from Perth, Western Australia. A good way to go can be, now bear in mind, everything that I'm saying here, all these bits of advice, this is how I work. It's not the way to work, it's not the way to design. Other designers might disagree with some of the things that I do or whatever, but this is just a look at the way that I work in particular. So we've got the head design kind of rough enough. So I'm actually going to no, hang on, that'll do. I'm going to bring that all the details for what I'm working on are up here. It's Autodesk Sketchbook Pro. Okay, let's bring that layer back just so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'm going to just kind of reposition the head just so I can start to put it into the the design. Something like that. That's close enough. That'll do. So keeping things like when you're doing an outrageous design, right? The thing that you want to do is that you want to make sure that it is still easy to read. So you want to make sure that the audience, when they look at it, that they can immediately gauge what manner of thing it is. So sometimes the downfall of a design, like it might be really original and it might be really awesome, but sometimes the downfall can be that it's just too different and it's too far out that people look at it and they have to take too long to actually figure out what the heck things are, which is not, I mean, it's not so bad for comic books and that kind of thing where you can actually take the time to look at things, but if you're talking about designing, for like a movie or something like that, the designs need to be, I think, they need to be able to be read very quickly. So people need to be able to look at it, just get a sense of what it is, and be able to understand what they're looking at from the get-go. So with that in mind, when you're doing, something like this, keeping some normal elements like the cowboy hat, like keeping that like really regular, is going to help with the viewer's ability to read it on the spot and go, okay, what is this? All right, the cowboy or whatever it might be. So give him kind of this snake sort of twisted sort of snake body. How am I going for time? Oh, I don't think I have all that much time left. I don't. Alright, so I do need to hurry this up a little bit. I talk too much, that's the problem. Give him the rattle. Now this is going to remain like a bit of a mess, so I've just been saying, it's important that people be able to read it straight away. It's not important for people to be able to read it straight away if it is not if it's just a sketch like this. In terms of what I was talking about there, is for the finished product. So I'm not going to have time in this 20 minutes to fully refine this design and get it immediately readable. But that's alright. Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of this layer from underneath, because that will then reveal some of the cleaner detail there. So it doesn't look like much like a cowboy at the moment, because he's just like this weird snake alien thing with a hat. But now what I'm going to do, I'm now going to accessorize him a little bit in the little bit of time that we have left. So again, just drop the opacity there, because I'm going to be working over it. And let's move in a bit. Alright, so we're going to give him some, going to sling some gun belts over him. He'd have bullets there. Now this is kind of part of keeping, much like the hat, keeping some really like ordinary aspects are going to help people to be able to read it much more quickly. Tablet is a Samsung Galaxy Note, and let's give him a poncho as well. The poncho is going to cover some of this shoulder detail, but that's fine. Can still sort of suggest a bit of the shape underneath there. Just got this poncho will be in the back. Kind of blowing out behind him there a little bit. A bit of dust in the air. Wind's kicking up. Alright. And let's give him, I'm going to put another gun belt going this way. Sort of handle for the pistol back there. That looks hideous, but that'll do. Alright, now let's get rid of some of that there. I haven't finished Beasts and Braids yet. No, I've got to continue working on those today. Actually, I've moved on to the second one, but I'm just sort of, I need to get warmed up before I get into that. I'll sort of dawdling a bit too much with it. Okay. And then classic bit of cowboy detail. He's going to have the, oh, that's the eraser, not the pencil. That's no good. He's going to have some tin on his chest there. A star for a man from the stars. I think that's just about 20 minutes. In fact, I think it's a bit over 20 minutes. So I'm going to leave it. I'll leave it there. So I've deleted the previous layers, but you know we started from. Thank you very much. Started from some very quick and basic silhouettes, just looking for some unusual shapes. If I had just gone, okay, I'm going to design an alien cowboy with a mask. I don't know if that really counts as a mask or his face. Maybe I'll put a domino mask on him there. It makes him a bit of an outlaw though. You know, if I had just gone, okay, I'm going to design an alien cowboy and just started, you know, oh, okay, this is what his head looks like and da-da-da-da-da, and sketching it out, then I wouldn't have arrived at this. Not in a million years, you know, because this is just, you know, it's very different to, I know the sort of designs that I would come up with, and it wouldn't be this. But exploring those different, there's my accent, exploring the different shapes, and then, you know, just sort of picking things that look interesting, and you find that some things automatically fit together better than others. So like I said, you know, this is just, you know, 20 minutes to come up with a design. If I was going to be doing this for a comic or something, then I'd put a lot more time into it and make it really work. There's a few other considerations that I would make as I was doing it, but for the purpose of this, I just wanted to show how, you know, it's actually quite easy to come up with something really unusual. So there we go. We have an alien cowboy. He's kind of like from Planet Rattlesnake or something like that, with his tail. Put in a little bit of the detail from underneath the belly of the snake. And there we go. So cowboy alien with a mask. There he is. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave this there. I am just, once again, it's the Samsung Galaxy Note tablet. Gorgeous. I'm not too sure. I'd just check out some YouTube tutorials. You might find some interesting links there. So it's the Samsung Galaxy Note tablet. The stylus, which a lot of people seem to want to know about, is actually just the stock standard one that comes with this tablet. And the program is called Autodesk Sketchbook Pro. If you're interested in a tablet, I've heard really good things about the iPad Pro, which I do not have. Hello from Puerto Rico. Hello from Australia, Puerto Rico. The Cintiq is good, though very expensive. So if you're just looking at starting out, go in store, check a couple of options out. This one is what I take with me when I travel, and it suits my purposes just fine. So thank you very much for joining in. I'm going to leave it there and get into some other work. And I will be doing another stream probably tomorrow, something different. Well, later in the week, maybe not tomorrow, we'll see. But if you follow me there, then it'll tell you when I'm on. And in my bio, there are links to Facebook, Instagram, and my email address as well. So if you have any questions, hello France. If you have any questions, I do commissions, etc., all that sort of stuff. And yes, I do make some money from this, not from doing these, but some other stuff. So details in the bio. Follow me on Periscope, and you get the updates when I'm live. And thank you once again for joining in. Thanks very much.